got a rifle on a hunting rack, best friend in the back, old hound riding shotgun. I got a camouflage mud truck looking for a big buck creeping through the dusky dawn. Big bright floodlights cutting through the dark night make a path to the deer stand. Pray to God Almighty, quiet as I can be, waiting for the aftermath. We've been dreaming all year for the season, waiting for the leaves to fall. We'll be looking for a 12-point buck, man. He'll be chasing that doe. Fire up your guns, draw back your bows, let the lead out, let the hammer go. Put some meat on the table, horns on the wall, take a picture, show it off to your pawpaw. You're a different kind of animal, hiding in the brush. Look at what it does when hunting's in your blood.
Youth Turkey Season 2014, it's here. And we all got together, we took our kids, had a great time. Anytime you take the kids to the field, whether it be turkey season, deer season, squirrel, rabbit, it's a good time. But on this particular episode, this is you and your son, Trenton.
Yeah.
And talk a little bit about your experience hunting with Trenton, his experience in the woods.
Well, poor feller, we've taken him for 3 or 4 years, and we've walked him up hills and up down hollers, and we've just never got on a good bird. Well, this year, some good friends of ours, Bud and Ashley Bryant, they've got a bunch of good birds out there at their place. My son Trenton and I are headed out here to a good friend of ours, Bud Bryant's place. He told us we could come out here and hunt youth season, which starts Saturday. He's been getting some good birds on some game cameras he's got set out around the place. And we're gonna head out here tonight. It's Thursday night, and set up a blind. So we're gonna head on down here. Well, it was the Thursday before. You know, youth season starts on a Saturday, and we went out to set up the blind. And as we were pulling in to the food plot where we're gonna set up the blind at, there's some turkeys out in the field.
Seen them, good looking birds.
Yeah. When we was pulling down there on the mule, I thought Bud was messing with me. I thought he put some decoys out there, which I'm glad I was videoing, you know, as we was riding on the mule, because when I seen them start moving, I was like, he's not messing with me. They're really out there. That's a good sign. We're coming down here to set up the blind in the field. There's already turkeys out here. So that was a good sign that we were in a good location. And on the video, you can see he's got game cameras out on all his food plots, and he told us there'd been birds in there. So well, we came down here this evening to our good friend Bud Bryant's place. He's gonna let my son Trenton here come down opening morning of youth season. He's got a bunch of good turkeys on game camera. He's got a game camera set up out here. Actually, when we pulled in tonight at about, what the game camera say,
540, around 540.
Around 540 this evening. We pulled down here and there was 3 out here strutting, and they had some hens with them, and I got a little bit of footage of that. So we're gonna back on out of here and leave this alone for tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, and be out here Saturday morning, and hopefully we'll have some luck.
You can do a lot.
Are you texting without looking at it?
He's that good.
No, I'm just hitting back on it. I can't, this is a smartphone.
Way smarter than me.
I don't stand a chance. 2 weeks.
Well, folks, it's April 12th here in southern Missouri. I'm here with my good friends Bud Bright and Emma Bright and my son Trenton Wilson. It's opening day of youth season here in southern Missouri, so come and go with us. Wish us luck.
Now I see that you've got these hens coming into the field. And how many came in? How many hens you reckon?
I think that there were 7 or 8.
7 or 8 hens.
At last count, I'm pretty sure there were 7.
Now while these hens were in the field, was you hearing any gobbling in the background? Was you hearing anything going on?
Well, earlier that morning we had, but as soon as they hit the ground, and this bird here, he was the only one with all these hens, and he was the stud of the.
He was the dominant bird.
He was the dominant bird of the area, and these hens are just out there feeding around, and I'm watching, and all of a sudden I see that's white softball
Yes.
coming, and when he came into the field, he was in full strut from the time he got there, and full strut.
Well,
Well,
we'll hold off on that. But yeah, I seen him come in here in full strut. He put on a show out here in this field, and I know, folks, and if you're turkey hunt at all, you know that just watching these birds out here like this just gets your heart pounding. and I can imagine Trenton not having the opportunity to shoot at a bird yet or take a shot at one. He must have just been racing.
well, it's kind of funny you say that
Yeah.
because when the hens are all pouring into the field, I looked over and I seen him falling asleep. So he wasn't too far from me. So every now and then I'd reach over and I'd tap him on the knee. But now when the gobbler came into the field,
Yeah.
I told him, I said, put your bead on that bird and keep it on it.
Yeah.
And he was wide awake
Oh,
then,
yeah,
the
I
whole
bet.
time. And so we were just hoping that one of those hens would come in and check out the decoys. And if you notice on the video, we'd set out a Jake decoy and we'd set out a hen decoy, and we hadn't sat there no time. And the wind kind of blew a little bit, and the Jake decoy just falls plumb to the ground.
I seen that on the video.
So it looks like a Jake is sitting on a nest, and the hen's over here, and the hole was just in the old decoy that Bud let us use. It was wore out.
That looked like he shot maybe right over its back.
He shot a little bit to the right, and this is all on me. Well, I knew he was going to be in the blind this year because we were doing everything that Bud asked us to do. And so I had him just one single shooting stick, and it was wobbling on him. When I had him sitting in a chair and had the target out there, and he was consistently shooting to the left.
Mm-hmm.
So I told him, I walked him out to the target. This is still the night before. And I told him, I showed him on the target. I said, now when a bird comes out tomorrow, I want you to aim right here to the right of this bird's head.
And that's what he did.
And that's what he did.
Huh.
So after the shot, I was pretty wound up. It was exciting. You know, it was the first time he'd ever shot it at one. But in my mind, I just couldn't think what actually happened there. And he was pretty aggravated, and me and Edgar's telling him, buddy, it happens to everybody. If you ain't ever missed a turkey, you ain't never turkey hunted.
That's right.
He said, I aimed right where you I said, what happened, son? And he said, I don't know, I aimed right where you told me to. And I got to thinking about that, and it really got to bother me. I said, what are you talking about? He said, you told me to aim to the right. And then I started recalling everything that I told him the night before. And he takes everything I say to heart. And when we got there that morning, I was explaining to Bud how he was shooting consistently to the left. And so Bud gave us a set of shooting sticks, and you can see them in the video that they're just like this, so they're solid down to the ground. So that one's on me.
Yeah, yeah.
I should have let him know.
Aim right for the head.
Aim right for the head,
Yeah.
and just dump him.
Yeah.
So that's on me. That's on Dad. So Bud and Emma, they were hunting, you know, quite a ways away from us, but they could hear the gunshot. So he texted me and asked me did you get one? And I texted him back, it's short but sweet, and told him what had happened. And he said, don't you guys go anywhere. This hunt is not over.
Even after this missed opportunity you just had, you got the call out, messing with the call, and you hear something.
Well, folks, this is my son, Trenton Lane Wilson. He's the one that you're watching right now on this youth hunt. And we had a big gobbler come in the first time. I already explained that was on me. That had nothing to do with you.
First turkey came in, he was the alpha with 7 or 8 hens, and he was just wondering what was going on. So he came over, and you lit him up, and I made the shot, and it didn't hit. And off he went. We had given up at that point, and you had taken off your mask, Edgar had taken off his mask. I was about to take my mask off. You started purring a little bit and hitting the slate and turned it over, hitting the glass. And sooner than I could imagine, 3 gobbles.
Well, the way we were set up in this blind is I was sitting all the way to the left, Trenton was sitting on my right, and Edgar was filming behind us. And we only had the front window open, and I could see the birds coming in. And one hen, she came in there, and you can't really see it on the video, but 2 hens actually came in, and they came over towards the blind, and they kind of looked in there and must have seen something they didn't like. Because you see one of them run away, they run right behind the blind, and they're back there. I don't know if they're fighting. They were back there just acting silly. I mean, I don't know what they were doing. So I just started purring on the old slate call. And the 3 gobblers, they come over to the right, and I can see them perfect. And I keep asking Trenton, do you see them? Do you see them?
They're on my side. Apparently, I couldn't see them. You were telling me that they were there, so I was believing you.
I keep asking Edgar, are you on them? Are you on them? And both of them's telling me no. And I can see them just perfect. So as we're sitting here in the blind, it was going to happen because the gobblers was going to follow those hens. And like I say, they done went to the right of us and behind the blind.
You kept telling me to get on your lap because I couldn't see them, and I would have to be able to get on there.
And you were looking at me like, what? And so I was like, finally, I was like, you're just going to have to stand up and shoot one of them because they're going to leave.
Instead, I just stood up, took aim, shot.
Get ready to shoot. Get your hand on your gun and get ready to shoot. Come over here and sit on my stand. Shoot one, shoot one, shoot one, shoot one, shoot one, shoot one, shoot one. Yes, 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 sir. Good job.
Well, Lane got his first bird. The way they come in, Lane had to stand up and get on this side. He couldn't see out that side, and the way the camera was set up, Edgar couldn't get on the birds either, filming them, but that's okay. It's Lane's first bird. Well, after the shot, I was sitting there trying to get you to do some commentary and get your reaction on film. And the part about this that I enjoy so much is when he's got his face mask on, and you can see the indentation of the smile on his face through the face mask. We're gonna go check out this bird. What do you think about that, bud?
Exciting.
Exciting? Go ahead and take your face mask off there, man.
We want to see.
Oh. Here, let me get out there to that bird. Out of the corner of my eyes, the bird just starts flopping. And so you'll hear me say, I've got to get to that bird. Well, I can't because Edgar's chair's here, everything's in my way. So I was like, Edgar, you gotta go get that bird. Go get it, Edgar. So Edgar, he takes off out there, and what happens then?
He gets beat up.
Who was you rooting for?
I was rooting for the bird, to be quite honest.
That's my boy.
Good job, bub. Finally, all these years we tried this.
All right, son. Now what do you think?
I've been watching Edgar and Dad hunt for as long as I can remember. And I've actually tried to hunt with them for 3 or 4 years now with little to no luck. I mean, we'd see, and it was fun hunting, but it wasn't anything like this.
Well, it's opening day of youth season here in southern Missouri, April 12th. We had a bird and a bunch of hens come in first thing this morning. When we pattered the gun yesterday, Trenton was shooting a little bit to the left, so and I had him using a shooting stick, and I think that was aggravating. He was off balance is what was going on. So when we got here at Bud's, he had a set of shooting sticks like this. So when that first bird come in, it was about 25 yards, and in Trenton's mind, he was thinking I have to aim a little bit to the right, so it'll go ahead and hit the bird. But he didn't realize that with the shooting sticks like this, he just needed to put it right on it. So the first bird, it got away. We sat here 20 minutes later, 3 gobblers come in to the right. Well, actually, we had 2 hens come in. 3 gobblers came in to the right. 3 gobblers, and I started purring to them whenever I seen them hens was coming behind us, and I knew they was going to come over here. Trenton actually had to stand up in the blind move over, and he just dumped him. And you can probably hear it. I don't know what it sounded like on there. We're saying pick one out, shoot it, shoot it, shoot it. And buddy, he did. He dumped it, and I couldn't be prouder of him. It's his first bird ever. He's 14 years old, and hopefully this will keep him excited about it. Me and Edgar's taken him for 3 or 4 years, and Bud and Ashley, I can't thank you enough. We really appreciate this, and everybody get your kids outdoors, take them hunting, and there's no feeling like it. You know, son, it was really great after as much as we've drug you up and down hills and hollers and all around to finally get you on a good bird and get one killed. And I'm really glad you hung in there with me at least one more year, and hopefully you go with me for many more. And I appreciate you going with me, and I had a good time.
I did too.
Good. We just wanted Lane to kill a bird, and he got her done today, thanks to Bud and Ashley. So, Bud and Ashley, you guys also have an outfitters here. And
It's Longbeards and Bighorn Outfitters here in Raymondville, Missouri.
once again, Bud, we want to thank you so much, man.
Sir. 20.8.
Really?
Right at 21 pounds.
Good bird. Good bird. What's coming up next week?
Well, folks, it's March 1st, the opening day of Missouri trout season. And we've got some of our staff members down there, some of our friends with us, and we're attempting to catch some trout. So it's a good time. So tune in with us next week, folks, and join the madness.
I was rooting for the bird.